Today, we are going to explore all things Google Calendar. Here you see I have arrived at my home Google Calendar. You can get there a few different ways. First, you can type calendar.google.com, or you can click on your app launcher, the icon that looks like a waffle on a new tab, and find your calendar app. You can also access your calendar from Gmail. Over here in your quick access bar, if you click calendar, it'll pull up a quick view of everything you have going on, and you can still access some of your same settings in here. Or click this pop out and it'll open it in a new tab. So let's take a little tour. In the middle is where you'll find your actual calendar. At the top, you have some of the view changers. If you click your arrows, it'll take you from week to week. Click today, it'll bring you right back to whatever today's date is. In this drop-down menu over here, you can change your view. You can choose to select to see just one day's worth of activities, an entire week, a month, a year. You can also see a schedule view that just pulls all of the events together in a list without looking like an actual calendar. All of these have a keyboard shortcut attached to them. So if I were to type D on my keyboard while in my calendar tab, it'll switch to day view. W would be for week, M for month, Y for year, and so on and so forth. Up here is my settings menu for my entire Google Calendar. I can change things like the language, time zone, clock, notification settings. If you would like to receive desktop notifications when events are about to occur, you can do that. You can choose when that happens. You can also view options like, do you want your weekends to show on your calendar? Do you want to show declined events? Things like this. Choose your start date, all of that. You can also set a different custom view. I chose 4 days. On the left-hand side, you have your create button where you get to add things to calendar. You have your month quick view at a glance. I can also search for availability of other people. So if I would like to meet with Jen, if I type her name in here, I can see what her schedule is like so that I can best coordinate an appointment with her. When you continue down, you'll also see all of the different calendars that you have. These are the ones that belong to you under My Calendars. These are either ones that you've created or are attached to your Google Classrooms. Other calendars are the ones that you have subscribed to. These are all of the calendars that you have said, yes, I would like to take part in. For example, here's the APS wall calendar. When I have that toggled on, you can see that this dark blue color, it matches here, is all the things that are on the APS calendar. If I click on the 3 dots, I can change the color so that it stands out a little bit differently. If I want to subscribe to a calendar, I would simply click the plus, subscribe to calendar, and then I can search for whoever the owner is. Or if I was given the URL for a calendar, I can paste it here. If I would like to create an event on my calendar, I just simply need to click Create Event. And I always like to click more options so that I get this in full screen mode and I can see all of the settings. You give your event a title. Ensure that the date and time frame are correct. You can choose to have this repeat or not. It can repeat weekly, daily, monthly, on the second Wednesday, all of these options. You also have a custom choice. Here you can add a Google Meet link so that everyone can join virtually. If you would like to add a physical location, you can do that here so that everybody can have access to a map of where you're going to meet. Notifications are important. This is when people will be notified as a reminder that an event is occurring. But you can add another one. Maybe they're going to get an email one day before the event. And then maybe you'd also like another notification to happen 30 minutes prior to the event. You can add as many notifications here as you need to. Next to the calendar icon is where you get to choose which calendar you are posting this event to. The default will always be your personal calendar, but if you'd like to post it to another one that you are an editor in, like if I would like this to go to my Google Classroom calendar, I can select that here and you can see that the color changes. Next is your availability. Do you want it to show that you're busy or free during that time? And then do you want that availability to be public or private? Next, you have your event description. This is where you can add information for your guests or for yourself. You can attach things from your computer, create lists, insert web links, and you can also create meeting notes, which will start a document based on your meeting title. And once you have guests, they will be included in that document as well. On the right-hand side is where you can add actual guests to this. Once you add all of the guests, when you click save, you can choose whether or not to alert those people that you have invited with an email. If you click don't send, they will still be invited and this will still show up on their calendar, but they will not receive an email asking them to confirm. If you do click send, it will send an email to that email address and ask them to reply, either yes, they're attending, maybe, or no. When you are ready, you're going to click save. And now I can see that my practice session appointment event is right here. If I need to go back in and edit it, all I need to do is click on the event and I can see that I can click the pencil to edit. I can trash it. I can email all the event details. I can click options and copy it to a different calendar or change the owner to somebody else. If you do have calendars that are connected to your Google Classrooms, be sure to toggle them on if you would like to view when your due dates are on your calendar. So here I can see that my green Google Classroom, I have an assignment due here, and then I also have another assignment due here. The great thing is that I can click here and be taken directly to my Google Classroom assignment. Students have the same kind of access. If I would like to add a brand new calendar, maybe I would like to create a collaborative calendar with my staff or with my department or grade level, I'm going to scroll down to Other Calendars and click plus. Now I'm going to choose Create New Calendar. Here's where I get to create a name. I can add a description if I'd like, make sure I set the time zone, and click Create. Now that I have successfully created this, I can click Configure here, or I can look for settings for my calendars, find that new one that I just created. If I would like to make this calendar public, I would click here. This means that people could search for my calendar and add it themselves. Instead of doing that, what you could do is click Shareable Link. Once you send people this calendar, they would be able to add it to their own and have access to the events. If you do choose to make something public, this could be a way that parents could see events if you'd like. If I would like to share with only specific people, I would click Add People here and type their email addresses. I can give these people permission to see all of the events, to see only when I'm busy or free, make changes to the events, make changes, and manage sharing. So this level would be somebody who is sort of a co-creator of the calendar. They can do all the same things that you do. If they can only make changes to the events, then that means that they cannot create their own events, but they can edit the ones that are there. Seeing all the event details is sort of like a view-only access to the calendar. And then if you give them access to see only free or busy, hide details, that just means that they can see that you're in a meeting, but they don't know what those details are. Once you click send, it will deliver an email to their email address where they can click a link and add that calendar with the settings that you gave. If you'd like to add a default notification for any event created on this calendar, you can do that here. All of these are settings that you can look through if you would like. Down here would be how you can remove a calendar, either unsubscribe from it, which means you will no longer have access to it. If you created a calendar, you can delete it, which will permanently erase everything, every piece of data, every event, anybody's access to it. Now I can see that my new calendar that I created is under My Calendars, my ELA department calendar, and it defaulted to this purple color. I don't see it anywhere because I haven't created an event yet. I can change the color so that it stands out from the rest of my work. If I would like to add an event to that calendar, I simply click Create Event, or I can click somewhere on the calendar, More Options. And down here, instead of putting it on my personal calendar, I'm going to choose that new calendar that I just created. I make sure that I'm not time traveling, and I choose a day and a time. Maybe this is going to repeat weekly on Thursdays, and it's going to be in room 100. I could add the guest that I need to add. Click Save. And now I can see my PLC meeting is here. And then if I move 1 week forward in advance, I can see that the repeating action is happening for me. Something else that you can do is print your Google Calendars. Click on your settings menu, click print. And now here's where you get to decide, are you going to, from what date to what date? You can choose to print each day on a separate page or 1 week altogether. You can choose the orientation. And you can choose if you'd like it to be in color, outline, or black and white. Full color would involve a lot of ink, but if you did outline, the color would be a little bit more subtle. You can choose to show weekends or not, show events that you have declined. Once you have done all of that, you can click print, and it will generate a PDF for you that you can then choose to print. Could also click this drop down and instead of printing, save it as a PDF if you would like to keep a record of it that way as well. Events might be the main reason that you use your Google Calendar, but under Create, you can see that there are other features. If you choose Focus Time, this will allow you to automatically decline meetings that anybody invites you to. Out of Office would allow you to set up a time where you will not be available and people will get an alert. And you can also choose to automatically decline meetings. You can also set your working location. You can either choose to show people that you're working from home, the office, or you can add something that's a custom option. From Calendar, you can also create a task. If you add a task here, you can change the date and time that it's due, add a description, and you can even tag people in this as well. The other place that you can find tasks is in your Gmail. So on our quick access panel, just like we can see a quick calendar, we can also see our tasks, anything that we have listed here. Finally, there are Google Calendar apps that you can download to your mobile devices if you'd like access to your calendar on the go. You can download the Google Calendar app from the Apple App Store or from the Google Play Store.